Okay.
All right, so I'll start that part over. What we're doing with our career fair piece is making it as face-to-face like as possible. We have 26 sponsors and we have a sign-up system. Now, if you're going to be a judge, you're going to see that sign-up system because there's a link that I'm going to send to you guys that says sign up for a slot, a judging slot. And you put your name, which slot you want, your company, your email, your cell number. And then you're going to get an email saying you're judging this round, this slot, just like you selected. Well, the students are doing the same thing. 26 companies, they're going to go, hey, I want to talk to Tom James. So they click on the Tom James sign up link, and it shows that you have 10-minute slots between 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 minutes apart. And they look and they see a bunch of people already signed up. But here is a 10:30 slot that's open. They click on it, put their name, university, email in. They now have an appointment with one of you. They then do the same thing for other companies. So on Monday the 9th, we close all of this out. And every student will get an email saying, here are all your signups. At 9 o'clock, you've got a 10-minute appointment with Qualtrics. And here's their link, their Zoom link. Click on it. At 9:30, you have an appointment with Henry Schein. Here's the link. Click on it. At 9:50, you have an appointment with Tom James. Here's the link. Click on it. So that's what they see. What you guys are going to get is your list of all the appointments. So you've got 3 simultaneous meetings. So you're going to get 3 spreadsheets that start at 8:30, 8:40, 8:50 till 5 o'clock. It's going to say Tom James, and it's going to show. Here's your 8:30 appointment. Here's their email. And here's a column where you want to evaluate them. They already know about you. They've watched the video. They've looked at your website. They've looked at the posts about your jobs. So this is not about you presenting to them, but this is a short interaction. Is there a connection? Do you think they're a potential? Do they think you're a potential? They may ask you, or you can ask them, hey, can we set up a meeting for next week? And you take it from there. End of the meeting, you have that spreadsheet open, and they were good. They knew about you. Dressed professional. It was a good interaction. You mark it P, professional. Now you look back in your waiting room, because these Zooms had to be set up with a waiting room. And you see, okay, my 9:40, oh, they're in the waiting room. You'll let them in. Start talking to them. And they go, what do you guys do? Do you have a department store? They're clueless. Be nice to them. Say, hey, you guys don't know much. Why don't you go read about us? Fine. You mark them not professional. You look on your list, you're 9:50. You look in the waiting room. They don't show. You mark them in S. 10 o'clock. There's a 10 o'clock appointment. And the kid shows up at 9:59. So you let him in. You start talking to them. This kid's wearing a hoodie. you go, didn't you get the message? This is a professional interaction. Oh, well, no, I never got that email. 8 times they get it. 8 times on purpose. Okay. Say, oh, okay. Why are you interested in us? I don't know. Well, okay. Why don't you go read about us? Goodbye. And now, I don't expect a lot of those. These are all the tops in the nation. But Nikki, did you get some like that at FSU?
I all of the ones that I met were super professional. The thing that I think is going to be a lot smoother with this next one is that I have Asha's Zoom link, and so the problem that I came across was like the people that Stephanie were talking to, like I don't have any notes on them, whereas the students that I talked to, I do. So it's like which ones were no shows, which ones.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, see, the thing to do is, let's say you and Ash are sharing the room.
Pat,
Yeah.
I gave my link to Nikki because I would not be available on that day.
Okay, that's right.
So Todd already had caught a meeting that I forgot about it.
Yeah.
So he reminded me. But Nikki is a resident techie expert. She can explain to everybody, but I don't know how to transfer it to her, but I'll talk to her about giving my link to her.
Well, there's a real easy way to do this.
Okay.
Well, number one, why even bother Nikki? Can't you just start a new one and send me that link?
Well, so the only problem is what I don't have. Tom James used to pay for like the professional Zoom for us, so I can't do the extended time. I can only do like 40. Yeah.
Okay. So, Ash.
Yes.
What we're going to do after this meeting, I'm going to do a private Zoom with you. And you're going to share your screen. And I'm going to show you how you make Nikki a co-host right now after this meeting.
Okay, well, I was going to talk to Nikki because she probably knows everything about technology. So
Do you know how to do that?
Okay.
That basically in the setup,
Okay.
there's advanced options. And he simply puts in your email address as a co-host and you sign on.
Yeah, I know how to have him change me to host if you want me to explain.
And also then we are sending you 3 links. So one is going to be Stephanie. So Stephanie and somebody else, because in every room we schedule it in such a way that there'll be 2 people. So not one person doesn't have to go all the way from 8:30 to 5 o'clock. So every room will have one link, like another one, Kay Kaczorowski, she has a link. So she will be sharing that with somebody else for half a day, and so will Stephanie, and so will Nikki. So this way every room will have 2 people.
Okay, now what I'm going to do, let me share my screen. I want to show you guys.
Okay.
Something that really helps. The ICSC website. It's icsc-fsu.com. Under sponsors, there's this sponsor cheat sheet link. This has a lot of stuff. You've got to be logged in. And I'm not sure, Stephanie has the login, so I'm sure it's her email address and a password. But if you're logged in, you can download, let me log in as me. You can download the entire spreadsheet of everybody, or you can simply look here and pick ones you want and capture them. But under this sponsor cheat sheet, there's the Qualtrics forms for judging. just so you have a copy, a physical copy. There is a sample Qualtrics, so you could actually, before you judge, play with it. This is a link to a 1-minute video that talks about how to start a Zoom meeting and how to change hosts. So do you have any questions about that?
Okay.
There's a career fair. Now, these are all under 3 minutes. In fact, the start of Zoom is like a minute. There's a career fair participants video, basically goes over what I just talked about. There is the process for starting, for evaluating the, what is this one? I forgot which one. Oh, this is a document that says what I just talked about. And here is all of you guys have judged before, but this would be this is a video about how to judge. So when there's one place is everything. If you had any questions about it, the ones the ones you really want to do is you want to download the resumes. So you got them all. And maybe take a look at these 2 short videos on how to start a Zoom and change hosts. And the one I just went over about the career fair. Now, why it is so important to judge these students. There's an $8,000 prize at stake for them. They're watching your video. On Monday, we start doing a Kahoots competition. They get points for watching your video and answering the questions. Then they get points for a professional interaction with you. Top points earner gets airfare for 2, 4 nights, 3 days at either a Disney or Universal resort, 2 all park tickets for 2 people. So this is a pretty big prize. Then there's their iPad Pros, iPad Minis, AirPods. So it'd be really unfair if some kid loses out because one sponsor just doesn't do this part and talks to people and then doesn't submit their evaluations right away. That's why it's so important. So, questions about anything? Anybody?
A ton of questions. I just need 2 seconds to park really quick so I can get my video on.
Wait a minute, Nikki, you're breaking up.
I just need to park really quick so that I can get my Wi-Fi.
Did anybody hear her?
Something about her iPad. Nikki, is that you said, how do you access it from iPad?
I think she said that she needed, she has a question, but she was just parking her car real quick
Okay.
and she's getting her iPad.
Bryden knows exact, had the 6th sense, the way she said.
Right, where are you located?
I'm in Charlotte.
Ah, favorite city.
Yeah, I love it. Me and Heather, both of us are in
There are a
Charlotte.
couple of alumni there. And Tom,
Yes.
trying to remember who.
Nicole Delarocco.
Yeah. Is she still with you guys?
She's not recently. She just the past 6 months, she actually went to go back to nursing school. So like totally different.
Actually, not really. You know, it's funny. We teach how to ask good questions,
Mhm.
and under a totally different name, our nursing school basically uses spin selling with nursing.
Really?
Huh. That's interesting. That's cool though.
Yeah. Well, you got to get the patient to talk about not only what the issue is, but are they committed to solve it?
There's Nikki live in
There
color.
she is.
Nikki's here. The star.
Nashville has the worst like Wi-Fi all over the city. I'm telling you. And of course, all my clients are like blue collar, so I was in the sticks. I was in the sticks. Um, so a couple, like two, like questions slash what I was thinking about, like the execution of all of it. Since we're using multiple Zoom links, um, I I was thinking it might be a better idea to have like two main ones and to have an overflow third one. That way, someone like Ryden or Kiara.
No, the whole purpose of this, set appointments, no random.
No. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So like, just because when students like sign up for all of them, I want to make sure that like our first Zoom link is 100% full, so we are on top, making sure that that one's always has someone on it. Second one, same thing, schedule out 12, 12, 12, and the third one have students sign up for that one, the last one, so that we have like the two main ones and
Okay.
the
Okay, well,
That makes sense. This way, it's not just spread all over. So if the two are full, then we just will work with them. If there are three, then so this way we will know exactly. Otherwise, we'll have few on one sheet and few on the other and more on the other. So we don't know where exactly.
Okay, so we could do this. We could only show two of your three Zoom meetings. We're going to start Monday. And we'll only show two of the three Zoom meetings. Then on Friday, the 30th, well, no, we can even go further. We'll wait till Monday, the 2nd. If you're at 70, 80% full in those two Zoom meetings, we'll open a third and send an email out and say, hey, there are now more room
yeah.
in a third meeting. Is that what you're thinking, Nikki?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that the first Zoom one is completely booked, like every slot is taken, and then
No,
second and third. That way,
Yeah.
if something like
Now,
last,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah,
we can't, I mean, 26 companies, over 300 students. Some
Yeah.
companies have 4, some have 5, some have 3, some have 2, some have 1. We don't have the ability to babysit and watch yours and say, oh, now let's open up number 2. Oh, now let's open up number 2. We don't have that capability. We can
Yeah.
plan. Here's one, and on a certain day, send an email out. Okay, here's a number 2. What most likely will happen from what we've seen, once students have gone through and picked their companies, if you're full, they're not going to go back and say, oh, I'm going to add Tom James. They're typically not going to do that.
No, yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I meant exactly what you were saying before. The 3 open Zoom.
Open
I just
to,
want to make all of them covered every second.
right, yeah. But on the day, if a week before the event, we say, here's a third Tom James,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to get very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Once they do it, almost universally, nobody's going to go back.
Okay.
So do you want to do that? Do you guys want to do that? Just open up 2.
No, I want to do whatever you think is most efficient. I just want to make sure that whoever else is also on the career fair, as far as Tom James people, are on their exact Zoom link.
Well, yeah.
So
Okay. mean, you can open up to 3. My guess is you're popular enough, most of your slots are going to be full.
Okay.
I know what you're saying. You know, you'd hate to have that third room and there's 2 meetings at 9 and 9:40, then there's one at 11, and then there's one at 3, right?
Yeah. So you think that they'll all be full?
Well, I'm thinking that. But you can also, if that's the case, whoever has that third room, you don't have to stay there.
Yeah.
You open it up for this meeting. You don't have another one for 2 hours. You shut it down. There's no randomness. And then a few minutes before your next appointment, you log on again. You do that. You can do that if that's the case.
Sounds good. That's what we shall do.
Okay. You had another thing.
No, I think that was it. I just have some stuff to go over, like with all the people that are going to be covering it, as far as gathering names and putting it in the database. So, I mean, logistically, I think that we're pretty good with the 3 Zoom links. I'm using Asha's, Stephanie's, and the third one, Ash, is that going to be
Kay Katrowski.
okay? Cool,
Kay has a link also.
sweet. Yeah.
Ryden, do you have a link?
Do you have
I think so, but I think I have an interview in my office that day, so I think they'll have to use it for that.
Okay.
we all used to have the professional one for like the first few months of quarantine, and they stopped paying for it. I didn't know.
I think ORLs have one for their offices, but yeah.
Kiara, do you have a link?
I pay for it myself. I don't have one paid for by the company, but I don't mind using it.
Okay. So there's
Yeah.
another one.
Mine can go as long as I want.
Yeah, if you pay for it, that's usually the case.
So
So we can use mine.
yeah, exactly. So this way, send us what your link is, and then we will decide which 3 you want to use or not use, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Now you can go with mine and Stephanie's both, because they, we go, my link, we normally are there for 3 hours with Todd. So obviously it is got plenty of time, on it.
Okay, guys, I'm going to really, that one short video on that sponsor cheat sheet page.
Okay.
That's everyone, let me share my screen against you.
Pat, the whole purpose of this call is that all of us on this call who are participating have an idea about how to successfully, maneuver this, rather than waiting on the last day to figure out, and then they leave and we leave, so.
So here's the video that's on that page. 54 seconds.
Starting a Zoom meeting is easy. You just click on the Zoom link and your meeting starts. The person who set up a Zoom
I can't hear.
Hold on.
must start the meeting. Starting a Zoom meeting is easy. You just click on the Zoom link and your meeting starts. The person who set up a Zoom meeting is the initial host and must start the meeting. At that point,
And that's important. Who's ever started the meeting, whoever set it up, has to start it, because you're the initial host.
person can become the host. Since all meetings for FSU Showcase have a waiting room, the replacement will be in the waiting room, and I'm going to go let them in.
So I'm her replacement.
Hi, Pat. Are you ready to take over?
Yep, all set.
Great. Okay, first, I will allow all participants to share their screen.
That's that little piece at the bottom where it says share screen, and you allow multiple participants to share the screen. That's good just in case one of the people wants to show you something. not really necessary, but we threw it in.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to the participant list and click on,
So you click on the participant list. This comes up. Here's the person who's taking your place. You click more and you click make host.
more for Pat. Then click make host. At this point, I can leave. Bye, Pat.
Oh, yeah, thanks. So just make sure you understand that in terms of switching back and forth. Of course, like one of you is, is doing some interviews and it's time to be relieved. The other person comes into the waiting room. You let them in. You have to make them the host. You leave. Later on, you come back. You're in the waiting room. They see you. They let you in, and you switch back.
Pat, basically from, Stephanie had done this before, that she knows how to work this, right?
Yeah. Well, her and Nikki have been doing this. So
Yeah, Nikki and Stephanie knows it. So they can go to, how about you, Ryan? Did you get this?
I know how to do it. Yeah, I know how to do the host thing. Stephanie doesn't. She hasn't quite grasped it yet, but that's nothing I'm worried about. It's like other people's Zoom links if they're not,
All right, now we got 6 people, so therefore I want to make sure that we all kind of understand how it is.
We can also go over. Was Stephanie supposed to be on this call? I thought she was.
No, she has a career fair today to attend, so she said she won't be able to attend. And also Kay. And I'm trying to get Amanda Latimer to come on, but she's in Napa, so I'll talk to her later.
okay, guys. Now, even during the event, you can call me. She'll have my cell number if you have questions.
So can any of these people who are not on the call today call you later to go over, or
What I'm going to do, Ash, this is a recording.
Right.
I'm going to put it on YouTube and send you the link.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Thanks, Pat. That's awesome.
All right. Good to see you all.
Thank you, Pat.
Hey, Pat, thanks for doing this virtually. I know it's probably insane, but we super appreciate it.
It is absolutely insane, Chara.
Listen, I do not envy you, but we're going to do the best we can for you.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, Pat, you can wish Kiara happy birthday, belated, but
Yeah.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
If you guys want to Venmo me, certainly. I am taking all sorts of gifts.
Damn salespeople.
Up here.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Stay safe, all.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye.